Hey, so this video is for hymn players, anyone who plays for church and maybe does not know how to play by ear, but you want to know how to apply different chords. Maybe you'll hear someone play and you think, oh, that's so amazing how they're adding these extra chords, and you just don't know how they're doing that. That was me for so many years. And I'm still learning, but sometimes I'll hear something and then I'll go and I'll figure it out and I'll be able to play it. Or sometimes I just play something and I'm just like, oh, this would sound really good, and this chord progression would sound really good here. So I figure out the chord progression and I add it in, but I don't stop to think, what did I just do? Like, how does this work? And a lot of hymn players, if they play really well and they just play by ear, you'll listen to them and you'll just say, oh, that's so amazing, I wish I could do that. Then you'll go and ask them if they can give you tips. And they're just like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, I just do it. Well, it's true, they really don't know what they're doing. They're just doing it. And they're amazing at it. But then it leaves us, the people who really want to be able to play like that, but we can't because we don't know how, and we can't just hear it and play it. It leaves us stranded. Well, I'm kind of like in between. Like, I can figure out, if I can hear something, then I can, and remember it, then I can figure it out. Sometimes I just hear it and then I'll just play it, but I don't think about what I'm doing. Well, I actually started trying to think. I just got out of a theory class today. And so we were analyzing chords, and I was thinking, you know what? There's this progression that I use in hymns sometimes, and I was like, let me figure out the chord progression, because I just play it, but I didn't figure out the chord progression. So I took the time to actually figure out this chord progression. My excuse for making this video, I should be studying or practicing right now. My excuse for taking the time to do this is because I'm using my iPad for just about everything, like playing all this music. I have to practice with my iPad. Well, I need to charge my iPad right now. So while I'm charging my iPad, I can make this video for all the church hymn players out there who actually want to learn and hasn't had anyone teach them. So here we go. I hope I don't go over the top and like confuse people. I'm gonna show you a hymn. This one is Grace Greater Than Our Sin. And a lot of times we'll hear people play this. You probably can't add these chords if you're just playing for a congregation because everyone's singing the parts. But if you're playing for a prelude, or if you're writing your own offertory, composing music, then this chord progression works. And you've probably heard some people play this before. I'm going to play it for you first, and then I'm going to, so a lot of flipping of the camera, right? That's about to happen. I'll play this chord progression for you, and then I'll explain how it worked, how I figured it out, and then I'll apply it to another hymn. So I'm going to do 3 things if I remember. Let's turn this camera around. Okay, actually you can see this is Grace Greater Than Our Sin, and you'll notice that on the 3rd stanza, the 3rd line, I'm sorry, here we go. I put in a chord, 5/7 of 6. If you don't understand that, I'm going to explain it. And then I put in another chord. This one's the minor 6. And I'm going to play this for you, and you'll hear what it sounds like. And I'm sure if you have heard any kind of church music before, you've heard this. So let's go around like this so you can see the keyboard. Okay, here we go. Let me turn my volume up so you can definitely hear. So here we go. Yonder on Calvary's Mount Outpoured. I'll play that whole line for you. So here's that special chord. And then it kind of keeps going. Something like that. Okay, so how did we make that chord? Well, bring it back around here so you can see what I wrote. Here, I put like the little Roman numerals for the chords. So if you remember before in one of these videos, I talked about the 1 chord, the 5/7 chord, the 4 chord, how we find them, and how if you have a scale on the piano, every single note you can build a chord off of every single solitary note. There we go. So that's C. So when I say the 1 chord, that would be the 1 for whatever key you're in. Well, in the key of G major, which is Grace Greater Than Our Sin, G major, our 1 chord will be a G. So that's the 1 chord. Then the 5/5 chord or 5/7 chord would be a D chord. 5/7. And usually after we play a 5-7, we always go back to 1. Well, here I put in, this is the 5-7 of 6. So the minor 6, if let's say our key is G major, the 6th chord would be, I'm going to just count it up for you so you can see exactly how I'm doing this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's your 6th chord. 6 is an E minor chord. So if we put it back here, 1 chord, 5, 6, 1. All right, so when I say 5-7 of 6, that means in the key of, this is your 6th chord for the key of G, in the E minor scale, your 5-7 chord of this is going to be a B7 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, build your chord. B7. So this is the chord that we're adding. We're adding the 5-7 of E minor, 5-7 to E minor. So if I just do it, I'm just going to do this whole little pattern right here just in blocking chords. So here we have the 1, we have 5, we have 5-7 of 6, we have minor 6. Then after we get to this minor 6, you can either put a minor 2, if you notice this, a minor 2 or a 4. In this hymn book or this specific hymn, we go straight to a 4. So here's the minor 6. Then we have the 4, which is a C, I think. Yeah. No, A minor. No, this is not a 4. This is a 2. They put a 2 in there. Okay, so sorry guys. They put a 2, minor 2, and then we have a 5-7, and then we have a 1. Was that confusing? That might have been confusing. Anyway, this is the pattern. That's why I wrote it out. So you can figure this out on your own. But this little pattern, you can plug it in to different hymns. And the way that you know it'll fit is if the melody line kind of moves, like if the melody line moves from 1, 2, 3, 2, and back to 1, then you can fit this little pattern underneath it. So I'm going to play it for you again so you can hear it, and then I'm going to put it in another hymn. I hope this isn't confusing. I'm really like trying to just explain what a lot of people couldn't explain to me or didn't explain to me, and finally I just had to figure it out for myself. All right, so here we go. I'm going to play this again, Grace Greater Than I Sin. Here's your 5-7 of 6. You can kind of walk back up to your 6. Then you go to your minor 2. There you go. Grace Greater Than I Sin. Now, we're going to put this chord or this little chord progression into another hymn, which was one I played Sunday, and it was, which one was it? My mind is drawing a blank. I Surrender All. Okay, so I Surrender All. I was playing with someone else. We were playing in the key of D. And I was like, oh, let's add this chord progression here. And I just told her what the names of the notes were and what the chords were, but I didn't actually think about this pattern until today. I was like, let me just write this pattern out, like figure this out. So, all to Jesus, I surrender. That was like the first phrase. And then the second phrase, I think, is where we added it. Here's that chord. So, I don't know if you heard it, but that's where, when we added this chord, that was the 5-7 of the minor 6. The minor 6 is B minor. This one was the, okay, what do we think? This is the 4. This is the one that goes to the 4. 5 to the 1. So I really hope that this wasn't confusing, and I think if you just, maybe if you rewatch the video, or if you, I don't know, if you really want to know and you just want to message me and say, hey, can you just walk me through that? Then maybe I can walk you through it or something. I don't know. But I'm just like trying to learn and articulate what I'm doing so that I can help other pianists who maybe can't play by ear or just want to learn and don't know where to start. Well, there are theory books out there. The thing I wish is that there were hymn playing textbooks or something where they actually walk you through how to add these chords and how to add chords that are different. Maybe one day I'll just come up with something and write it. Put that on my list of things to do, right? In my spare time. Anyway, I'm going to get back to, I'm probably going to go to campus and actually get some real practicing done. And then I got to go to the library and write a paper. So let's go with schoolwork, right? Getting back into this, but I'm just had to share that with you, and I'm sure my iPad's probably almost charged by now. So anyway, enjoy your day. Bye.